Let's go, baby. Yes, let's go. I like that. I started running before you jumped. I started running. I could see it like right here. You were like super elastic looking, which is awesome. All right, so we're here today at the Athlete Matrix in Mississauga, Ontario, and we're working with a series of athletes in what's called an in-person jump analysis appointment. And I'm a part way through this session with Chris, who's coming in as a volleyball, basketball player, a bit more of a mature athlete at 33 years old, and we're taking an in-depth look at his jump today. Today is all about stripping away all of the behaviors that are not working in his advantage and reintroducing good position and behavior to make sure that he can, hopefully, it'll happen, jump higher today and then carry that down the road as we move forward. If you haven't already and you'd like to kind of follow along with all the different things that we do here at PPA, is just subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below what type of an athlete you'd love to see a jump overhaul with, and maybe some examples of people that you know that could benefit from that. So anyway, enough to it, let's get to the session. Around too much with that, we'll do it in real time as you jump again. Okay. But for now, what I want to do is kind of take you through the protocol that I use for a warm-up when it comes to getting you to jump your highest. Okay, so I watched you were doing a lot of things intuitively, so movement primarily first, right? You're just trying to make sure that your joints are moving well. Personally, what I like to see is more of a blood flow, initial blood flow approach, where we're doing something like maybe a light jog, some shuffles, even getting on a bike, just something to get that kind of, you came out of a car, you come in here, you sit down. Yeah. Let's get the blood flowing a little bit more actively. I know the blood flows naturally, but then we go into kind of that movement protocol, right? We get the upper back nice and warm, we get the hips nice and warm. So what I'll have you do is we'll use this strip of rubber here. Okay. I mean, you're pretty warm already, but just so you have an idea, I'm just gonna have you like lightly jog, okay, and then just a really like relaxed, bouncy back pedal. Okay. Everything in the warm-up, okay, is building the intent of what's to come. So we're trying to be springy and bouncy. Okay. Your warm-up must feel springy and bouncy. That means your jog is bouncy, your shuffles are bouncy, everything's bouncy, okay, and your mindset is, right, we're thinking explosive to be explosive. So okay, we're presetting the stage. Okay, okay, so just do one little kind of down and back. Get this back and going. Good. Okay, you're gonna face me. We're gonna do what's called a tall shuffle. Okay. So we're just gonna be, so we're opening, striking. This outside arm will essentially strike with the foot. Okay. Strike, up, 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 okay, down and back. Thanks, Reed. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, no problem. Good. Good, man. Strike, stay tall, off the ball of that foot, and punch, punch. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice, good. So those two I will typically use as like an initial blood flow style element, and then we move a little bit more into the kind of the movement aspect. So what we could do is let's take this little corner here, move the landmine out of the way. You can take the corner. I'm gonna have you just do some nice kind of open forward back swings so we can open the hip flexors up. I don't want you to force positions, just let them move. Synchronize the breathing with it. Exhale as your muscles are getting long. Inhale as they shorten. Okay, do maybe like 10 or 12 each side. Nice and breathing, good. Good. Source a lot of warm-ups for 2-foot jumpers from the track world. It's what I did for a long time, right? So track athletes are really good at one thing. That is getting their body to perform at peak explosiveness at a specific time, right? You're priming, 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 and then it's like, let's go. So you're going to play a game, volleyball, basketball. It's like, how do I get my body ready for the game? I don't want it to be halfway through the game when my body is ready. Yeah. Like I want to start the game and feel ready. Yeah, exactly. And then it's, how can I manage the capacity of work, right? My neurology is primed and prepped, my muscles feel responsive. Now there's some cardio demand, right? There's some cardio that you build up over time, but put yourself in a good position by making sure that you're nice and loose. Okay, so you're gonna face the wall now. And we're gonna do side to side leg swing. Okay. So you're gonna allow that hip to kind of close and then open as you swing it open. Okay. Same type of thing here. Okay. 10 or 12, just swing and open. There you go, yeah. especially as we become a more mature athlete. We need to prioritize the things like allowing, especially the hips and that kind of like lumbar sacral, that lower back junction to really warm up. Okay, gravity's had its time with us already. Sports compound that interest to make sure that the spine is even, right? It's even a little bit more janky. So we do our best to combat that. So allow yourself to really let those hips move, move, move. Good. I personally, from a flow perspective, when we get into a little bit more of this movement, we go wide. I'm gonna have you fall. Right, we're gonna walk that out. Lower, press, turn, turn, down dog, open, open, under, under. So you're gonna follow with me out. That's the flow. Once you do it a couple times, you'll never forget it, I can promise you, okay? So go wide legs. We're gonna fold to the ground. We're gonna walk, hands here. From this perspective, we're gonna lower down, toes point back, toes point back. Big breath in, exhale, press up. Inhale, exhale, turn left. Inhale, exhale, turn right. Down, tuck the toes, push back and up into down dog. Good. From here, we're gonna bring one foot up. We're gonna open that inside arm. Hand down, foot out. Foot in, hand open. Good, foot back, tabletop position. Palm up, inhale, exhale, drop the shoulder, reach. Really lift that shoulder, turn, drag it back, switch, drag, rotate, and back up, and then you're right there to be able to walk back up into one more rep. So I want you to walk through. I'm just gonna cue you through this time. So here we go, we're gonna fold, walk all the way out, lower down to the ground, toes pointed, big breath in, exhale, press up, good. Inhale, exhale, turn left, inhale, exhale, turn right, good. Tuck the toes, up and back into downward dog. Yeah, that's okay. From there, you're just gonna push up and back, your hips up and back to here. Up and back? Yeah, like that, yeah, good. Okay. Good. And then you're going to walk one hand up beside, foot up beside the hand. Good, drop the knee, open up the other way, good. Very nice, foot back, switch sides. Very nice, inhale, exhale, open. Good, feet back, tabletop position. Good, palm up. Inhale, exhale, drag long. Bring back, inhale, exhale, other hand through. Good, from that position there, hands on the ground, push the feet back up, spread the legs, and walk your hands all the way back to your feet. That's it, man. It's a nice, easy flow that gets everything done all in one go, which I absolutely love. Okay, so from here, now we go blood flow movement. We're gonna go prime. So now we're gonna essentially start to introduce, some things that are a little bit more explosive. Okay. And then we're gonna tie it into jump specific stuff before we get back to the vertex. Okay, so what I want you to start with first, so we're gonna do an alternating straight leg walk. Good. Everything stays up. When you bring that hand up, we're trying to avoid this. So just bring the foot up as high as you can before you sacrifice posture, right? Everything is posture for jumping, right? If I train here, 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 I'm much more likely to want to go there. Okay, so we'll just do a handful here. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good. Good. Very nice. Good. One more each side. Good. Turn around and we're just going to skip back with an arm cross. Good. So this is what's going to be called our straight leg progression. So we started with just a natural dynamic alternating straight leg walk. Now we're going to introduce what's called a snap down. Snap down is where we take the same movement on the way up, but we introduce a more dynamic effort down. So we're top and we're pulling a couple steps. When you pull, so if you watch from the side, like I'm not forward. I'm not leaning back. I'm staying over my hips. As this foot pulls through, the contact is made under my hip with the ball of my foot.
Yeah.
It'll take a few.
Yeah, that was cool to see in real time, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think I've ever done that.
Okay, so up, pull, but again, like if you pull harder than your capacity is right now, it's gonna change your upper body.
Okay.
Right, we need to get the hamstrings and glutes. So control, snap. Good, let the hands work with you. So when you bring this leg up, like you'll see that I kind of swim the hand and then I pull it. Couple steps, hand, pull. Good. That's good, good. That's better, good. Slow, fast, very nice, I like that. Slow, fast, very good. 2 more. Slow, fast, very good. Slow, fast, good, awesome. On the way back, you're gonna skip, but we're gonna do arm circle. So it's gonna be dynamic effort down, bouncy, rhythmic effort on the way back, and that's how it's gonna progress.
Okay.
So snap down then progresses into kind of a straight leg run. We're gonna start with a nice choppy run. So legs are straight, knees are soft, so they're not locked out, right? We're gonna start just pulling the feet. That's as fast as we're gonna go. Your focus is watch me from the front and watch what's happening with my head and shoulders and my feet, yeah? See how it's naturally, it's not a robot. This is the rhythmic side of jumping. The track side of things that work into creating that really connected jump, yeah? Just bounce, good, go ahead. Don't even overthink it. Yeah, stay tall, good, yeah. Bounce, 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 good. Listen, you're a musician. Listen, I'm seriously, rhythm. Yep, good, good, and relax. So much of jumping, from my perspective, listen, it's rhythm, right? There's a difference, obviously, in rhythm with dancing, timing, singing, on beat. But when you really pull it into the world of jumping, there's a lot crossover. Okay. So that's what I want you to think about is on this next one, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna open up the speed a bit. And I just want you to focus on finding that pocket. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Okay, so on the way back, we're gonna skip. Arm cross again. Good. Yes, brother. Okay. I always start this drill on the spot, and then I start moving forward. Okay. So start just on the spot. Yes, already better, good. Now start just gently moving forward, and as you're moving yourself forward, you're being propelled by the ball of the foot, essentially pulling through the ground, right? Pull, 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 pull. Good, feel yourself getting pulled a little bit faster now, forward. There you go. Very nice, good. And on this one, on the way back, we're just gonna shake. So we're just gonna walk and kind of just shake out, shake the legs out, shake the arms out. This is jumping is this balance between immense power and explosiveness and relaxation and elasticity, right? So it's this kind of, juxtaposition that is hard to understand. So on this one, we're gonna do the straight leg again, but we're gonna accelerate a little bit. So it starts on the spot. One, two, one. You'll feel it. Pull, pull, pull. Allow yourself to move. Yeah, good, 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 good. Looks awesome. Very nice. The first handful will feel awful. Any new thing you do will feel awful. But it's as we accumulate the reps, that body learns, it makes those connections, and all it does is just bleed over into our jump. Okay, so that's very linear, yeah? Everything we're doing here is very, very linear. So we're gonna move into a corkscrew. Corkscrew, these feet synchronize together. They stay connected. The hips are moving, so from here, my shoulders are still forward. Everything moves through that lower back junction, but my feet are together. If I stop them at any point, they're essentially pointing in the same direction. Okay. Okay, so, yep, good. Yeah, allow yourself to gently move forward. Good, it's more about the contacts than it is about how fast or far you're moving forward. Good. Now walk for about 5 feet or so. Shake your legs. So we're gonna do it again. Now what I want you to do is, as you get that rhythm, start speeding it up so that you're essentially, we wanna get the body to move rotationally quick. Together, together. Hips, hips, very nice. You can see here like his hips are moving well. The tendency is, as we introduce, you're good there, man. As we introduce this to some athletes, what we see is this disconnect between thinking we're moving independently at that lower back and hips. And what ends up happening is this kind of side to side movement, which makes a lot of sense, but having the independence, the ability to create separation from your upper body and your lower body is very important to jumping, right? We have to be able to understand how to wind, separate to create tension and that spiral effect. Okay, so that looks really good. Just walk it back. All right. I think we should just jump again. Okay, serious? Yeah. So grab a sip of your water. We brought it over for you. Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. I think now that we're, like, do you feel the difference in warm up like this versus that preceding warm up? Yeah. Right, so we need to ramp the body up to a point where we're functioning at that kind of higher capacity neurologically.
So for the patterning, would you be doing that on a game day as well, or would the patterning be separate days? Kind of like
the technical patterning? A different day. A different day. What you could put on a game day are like impulse block, because there's an element of just explosiveness to that, and very jump specific, and it's behavior oriented. Like anything that's behavior oriented, cool on a game day. If it's positional, holding positions, feeling positions, I'd rather that on a day that your focus is on the position. If you're trying to think about position while you're playing, it's over. If you're thinking about jumping while you're jumping, it's over. That's why let's work on tech. This is something for everybody to understand as well, is like you work on technique independently of your sport, and then the benefits of building efficiency bleed into your sport. Okay? We're gonna jump again here. We're gonna just go full approach. After we do some full approach, if you wanna take some standing jumps, we can. In terms of because here's the thing with standing jumps, unless you have a glaring issue with your posture, which you don't, it's all about application of force. I'm not going to necessarily be able to make you stronger today. I can build efficiency, and we could probably get you another ½ inch to an inch in your standing, just based on release timing. But I think where our time is best spent on the dynamic elements of jumping for your sport. Make sense? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to give you any coaching for this first jump. I just want you to take the energy that you have right now, and just go to work. Just do the same thing you did before. Just jump and give it a big reach. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. Good. Really extend. So you're very short-armed. I want you to visualize that you're going up for an attack, which means that if I give you a set, I'm trying to set to your full extension because I want to take the blocker out of the equation. So I need you to really extend. If we're still having trouble getting extended, I'm going to take you through a couple like rib and lat openers to see if we can just get you a little looser. Okay, so attack the last bit of our jump, okay, right through takeoff. Come on. Good, there's 2. Come back. There was a bit of, yeah, you felt yourself slow down? Okay, so walk back from your starting point for a second. This is my favorite part of what I do, okay, is just getting in your head. It's fine, you stay right there. Just getting in your head a little bit, okay? When we're testing, the term test sometimes immediately elicits like a stress response, where it's like, oh shit, this guy's watching me jump and there's a camera and people are watching. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, we love you guys, but we don't care about you right now. It's just you and me here. We're just jumping, yeah? So we still need to stay relaxed. So before any of our jumps, what I'm gonna have you do is essentially a couple bounds. You'll see I'm shifting my weight, letting my shit relax, like let all this relax. And then when we're ready, like attack it, yeah? Visualize the pass, the set, and you're going for an attack. You're not touching the thing, you're going for an attack. Bounce, relax, attack your approach, and go take a few out of there for me, come on. That's it. That's like, how many more was that? Like 3, 4? Okay. Okay, so that's out of there. So same thing here. Let's take a couple breaths. So that's step one, is like, how do we tie back in the ebbs and flows of a game? Because you're playing a game, so you're not thinking about the jump, right? You're like, I'm just playing a game, and jumping's part of it. How do we kind of introduce that into a setting where the variable is like an output, a test? Got to get yourself there by getting your brain, trick your brain by moving your body. Boom, visualize, do what you need to do, and then attack. Okay, you'll feel the moment that your body wants to attack the jump. Wait for that, like, yeah, there it is. Okay. And then ride that. Okay, come on. Big deep breath, nice and smooth. Attack your takeoff all the way through to the tip of the finger. That's it. Yeah, that's 2 more. Very nice, good. Good. Good, I like that. Good, okay. Good. You look bouncier. Yeah. You look more confident now. Feel a little looser, yeah. Good, and the looseness is good, and that's gonna be like, how can we prioritize that warm-up? Okay, so on this one, same thing. I want you to bounce, bounce, bounce. Don't forget about that kind of, as you're approaching that penultimate, like our hips are dropping a little bit. Okay. Nothing else changes, but the push is less a step and more a stride. Okay, so a step to me is like this. A stride, like it's essentially a low jump, right? It's a low, long attacking jump. Okay. So let's really attack that penultimate and attack the strike. Okay, come on. Big deep breath, bounce, attack. It's already done, just make it happen, okay? Come on, big deep breath. Yep, that's it. That's it. That was night and day. That was night and day. That jump looks so different. That was amazing, amazing. Okay, that feeling there, I want you to remember that feeling, okay? Why I said this a billion times is jumping is a feel game, right? It's not this feel, it's our interaction with the ground, our interaction with our limbs. If you can remember how a jump feels when it's outputted really high, we can revisit that. Versus like getting fixated on like, I'm not touching high enough. It's like, no, there's a whole bunch happening before that moment. Let's get this taken care of, right? Jump first, touch second, and then land. Okay, bounce, bounce, bounce. Smooth attack. Come on. Yep. Okay, that's okay. You knew something was happening here, and then I could see you kind of just, Okay, so let's take a moment. Let's take a walk. This is part of it. This is where I'm gonna introduce the element of breathing and how we can use our breath to our advantage. So I've got you kind of bouncy, feeling the ground, and hyping ourselves up essentially, right? If we hype ourselves up too much, meaning we're like holding our breath a little bit, we're getting tight up into the shoulders because you're like, I want to attack it. Now I'm like getting muscled. Yeah. Right before we jump, what we can do is introduce a few breaths. Okay. Big belly breaths. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of trying to inflate the abdomen. And what we do is affect kind of the nervous system state we're in. We're trying to get out of that like fight flight mode a little bit so that we don't feel as anxious and allow the muscles to really fire. So what I want you to do is you're gonna take 3 deep breaths. Every time you exhale, these shoulders are going to just relax, okay? Like that's the cue for you, is on the exhale feeling not as if you're getting heavier, that these are actually becoming lighter. Okay. On the 3rd breath, on that exhale, when everything gets super light, just ride that right into your jump. Okay. Nothing else changes, yeah? Set yourself up. Just have some fun with it, man. But commit to the reach, commit to everything. Seriously, breathe, relax, get light, attack all the way through your jump. It's already done. Good. Come on. Let's go, baby. Yes, let's go. I like that. I started running before you jumped. I could see it like right here. You were like super elastic looking, which is awesome. Actually touch this one too. Boop. Yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel good.
Okay.
A little nervous, but yeah.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, if you're not a little nervous, you're not alive. And you don't care. I think being nervous shows that you care. And I get I'll be honest, and you can ask my wife, she got the camera right now, and I'm super transparent about this, but I'm nervous before every moment I start to coach. I want to make sure that you have a good experience. I want to make sure whatever. Nerves are good. Embrace the nerves, but don't be controlled by the nerves. They're just part of you. And they're a tool. They really are a tool that we can kind of manipulate a little bit. Okay, so that breath is going to help you kind of make those nerves a good part of us, because that's also energy. Okay, nice big breath. Go up, move some of those bad boys out of there, okay? Come on, man, come on. Yep. Ooh, that was so nice. It was so nice. We get this, we're getting this like drifting away. So what I want you to think on this one is when we're attacking with that lead plant, is not being afraid to like get it open just a little hair more. So that it'll allow you to close on the block a bit. And I think what'll happen is we're getting a bit of like preemptive rotation out of the body. We're not allowing that body to like break fully. So open that foot a bit more, block, and then feel that arm and back rear shoulder drift forward and extend. Okay? Just a hair more. Not a huge turn, but just allow it to turn just a hair more. Okay? It's already done. Let's make it happen. Come on. Yep. Okay, good, good. Okay. It's okay. Take a second. Take a second. 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, so we're already 3.5 inches higher than when you started. Okay, so it's not terrible. Okay, like 3.5 inches is like nothing to sneeze at. So everything here is just gravy. But we all fucking love gravy. Yeah, we want more gravy. That blue one is right there for you. Okay, let's adjust the approach just a hair. No, not distance-wise, but let's adjust the arc. Let's do a little more curvilinear approach. And I think what that'll do is encourage a little bit more of that closing, and we'll see if that happens. And if we're like right there with it, we'll give it another go. If we're way off, let's just call it and debrief. Okay? Come on, man. Big and bouncy, then couple breaths, ride that wave. Attack right through the fingertips. Here we go, brother. Come on. Bouncy. Yep. Woo! Okay. That's good, man. Hey.
I tried, man. Appreciate it.
That's great. Great job, man. Great job. How'd that feel?
Felt good.
Yeah?
A lot.
Yeah, I think it's less complicated, I think, than most people tend to make it. They're like, well, it's like, oh, you can jump 3-4 inches higher in the spot. It must be super complicated. It's so much about just like understanding your body better. Because sometimes it's, hey, let's press the speed a little bit more. Sometimes it's actually like, you just need to slow the F down, right? Let's shorten your approach in half. So we want to start with the big picture and kind of start checking those boxes. Am I connected? Do I move from point A to point B smoothly, or am I losing energy somewhere? If it's like, oh, it looks pretty smooth, I'm not blowing through my takeoff, something else, cool. Where's my center of mass throughout that entire ride? Is it doing a lot of this up and down? Or is it pretty smoothly lowering and then redirecting? Okay, if that's good, then maybe it's a little bit of the behavior, maybe it's a little bit more intent driven, right? So we start just kind of running the gauntlet on those checklists, and at the end of the day, it becomes more intuitive. For sure. So I think what's really, really important for you is, like, this is awesome. So this is 10, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, 10, 4.5 from a 10, 1 earlier. And a couple of jumps to make sure that that was what you had. This was entirely, like, so much of you benefited from that warm-up. And then also the confidence of being able to attack your jump. Okay, so that I need you to take that from today, is that you are already capable of this and more, like it's in the tank, clearly. And when you go practice, you need to be able to practice at that level of intensity at least once a week for you to be able to make the progress. And I think that's what we lack, especially as we get into our 30s and 40s, is that the ability for us to take ourselves to that like high intense output becomes harder to do, right? It becomes like, well, I don't want to be sore. Well, it's like if you subsequently also want to improve your vertical, then at times you're going to have to kind of press that and get that red line a little bit. Okay, so practice technique off game days, at least a couple times a week. Doesn't have to be intense, doesn't have to be all like the moving, popping off the ground drills. It could be something as simple as visualization, shadow jumps, holding positions, walking through, getting that feel of response from the floor. I really firmly believe that that's like going to be a huge part of you just continuing to make strides. You said from a training perspective, like a weight room perspective. What are you currently doing right now?
What am I currently doing?
Yes.
Currently doing...
Like in a nutshell, you don't have to give me like specifics of sets and reps, but like in a nutshell, like...
Two leg days, one game day. Other days are split between the two upper bodies, so almost like a push-pull leg.
Kind of like a bodybuilding split? You got a couple...
Bit, but then I have the, well, I'm not going like the
yeah.
The
right, but in terms of your splits, or like you have a push-pull day, and like do you have, like from a lower body day, you're doing like a knee dominant day and like a hip dominant day?
Well, I'm mostly doing like compound movements for the 2 leg days. I'm doing like full body kind of compounds.
Okay.
And then the opposite days, I'm doing like a core / upper body type circuit stuff.
Right.
A little bit on I guess like the lighter end, just to I
right.
Get too big because I've been bigger before.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And then the 1 day, 1 or 2 days, I try to get out and try to dump.
Okay, that's good. I think what I would love to see, and I'm not sure what the leg days consist of from a lifting perspective, the exercise selection side of things, more single limb options. Okay, more unilateral movements. Our 360 approach hinges really heavily on the stimulus involved in single limb movements, whether it's split squat variations, right, Bulgarian, rear foot elevated, single leg RDLs, things that move us in different planes. But the more you can get on a single leg, the more that translates to 2-foot jumping, because yes, it's a 2-foot jump, but it's really 2 independent single leg contacts, a lot of rotation and a lot of instability. So the more you can get on 1 leg, the more that encourages that natural kind of activation of the core, trunk, hips, and I think it really translates more. Like, yeah, I think every now and then it's good to, whether you're doing like a heavy hip thrust or a heavy trap bar or something like that, just from an output standpoint. But I personally like to see the mass majority of the lifts be, especially for an athlete playing a sport, more single limb movements. And I like the fact that you're doing like a jump day a week. I think now you got some technique stuff to like play around with in there as well. But no, it was good, man. That was really good. That was really good. So we got to kind of close things. This is, and the camera's still on. To kind of close things up for today. We started with our counter movement jump. Do you want to try jumping from the standstill again, or are you pretty cooled up? Yeah, okay. We jumped higher. Full approach jump went from 10'1" to 10'4.5" in the course of how long? Maybe an hour. Maybe an hour. And you said you felt good.
Felt good, yeah.
Perfect. I appreciate y'all being here with us today. I probably have released this in a series, so if you stuck around the whole time, much appreciated. We appreciate you for being here today, my man. And where can they check you out? Where are you? Where are you? We got, my man's a musician. He's also a hella mature athlete. I'll put some stuff in the description below. Where can they check you out at?
Well, my Instagram is JSY Music. I'm not that active, but I mean, who knows?
That's all right, man. Listen, just go give him some love. Go give him some love. I love y'all. Bye.